Hey people, welcome back to my channel. I want to use this means to appreciate those that have liked and subscribed on our channels, and for those that are yet to like and subscribe on our channels, I want to use this means to beg you to do so. Okay, so today I'm here to discuss on how to get a tier 4 visa down to the UK. But before I go into details, I would also want you to note that there are several visa types for one to use to migrate to the UK. For instance, we have the tier 1 visa, we have the tier 2, we have the tier 4, and then the tier 5 visa, and several visas that are also available for you to come to the UK to make you a legal migrant to the UK. But I'm majorly focusing on tier 4 visa, which is what my family and I use to relocate down to the UK. Now, what is a tier 4 visa? A tier 4 visa is also known as a student visa or study visa. And with this visa, it will allow you as a student to be able to live in the UK and work in the UK within the period of time when you are running your program. But being the fact that you're the student, you're only allowed to work 20 hours weekly because you are a student. And for those that want to come in with their dependents are allowed to work 40 hours a week. Dependents are allowed to work 40 hours a week, and you can come in with your children too. And I also want you to know that even with your children in UK with you, they attend free education here in the UK. Now, I would like to break down the step by step. I would like to break down the step by step things that you need to do for you to be eligible to apply for a tier 4 visa. Now, before you even start anything like traveling, like you want to leave your country, you need to put some documents in place. And one of those documents you need to put in place are your international passports. Of course, without an international passport, you can't even think of say you want to travel even to the nearest African country. I am from Nigeria. For me to go to Ghana now by air, even by road, I have to have an international passport. And for those that want to go through the tier 4 visa, that is the study route, you need to also have your BSc certificate or your HND certificate. You also need to have your WAEC certificate, NECO certificate, or IELTS. And in your WAEC certificate, NECO certificate, you need to make sure that you have a C band in English language, which are the reasons why they require for WAEC, NECO, or IELTS to ensure that to make them know that you can actually understand their English. Then you also need to get your transcripts ready. Though there are some schools that give admissions in the UK that does not require transcript. But for my investigation so far, about 80% of UK schools requires for your HND certificate or BSc certificate with your transcript, which is very, very important for you to have them. Then you also need to have your academic reference too, because some schools requires for academic reference. And for those that are working, that have work experience, we also need to get their work reference too. So now what you need to do is, before you apply for courses in the UK, what I tell my people around me is you need to look out for courses that are under shortage occupation jobs in the UK. You won't just say you want to just leave the country and then decide to come and study a course that maybe after studying you might not be able to, switch your visa or be able to get a job that would give you a tier 2 visa, aka work visa, to allow you to stay. So what I do is I tell people, make sure you are doing a course that is relevant. There are several courses that are relevant here in the UK that you know that okay, even when you finish your school program, you might be fortunate to get a job that would employ you and is ready to sponsor you. Some of these courses are like project management courses, data analyst, international technology, information technology, and the likes. So you need to make your research to get those courses that are hot cake here in the UK, that it's going to give you the opportunity to be able to apply for a job, and then the job will be willing to, sponsor you for you to get the tier 4 visa. So now, after making your research and you are certain or sure of the course that you want to study in the school, we need to make research of schools too in the UK. We have several categories of schools in the UK. There are some schools that does not require um there are some schools that does not require you to, provide them POF, that is proof of fund, for them to issue you CAS. There are some schools that even when you provide all documents available, failure if you did not pay your school fees, you will not be eligible to have the unconditional offer. And then there are some schools that also give scholarship. What I mean scholarship, not full-time scholarship, like a reduction in fees. It could be 1,000, it could be 1,500, it could be £2,000, scholarship that's going to be subtracted from the total school fees and all of that. So those are the things that you need to make research on. And there are also some schools too that don't accept HND for direct masters. What they offer is either you go through pre-masters or you go through a top-up program in their school. I think for top-up programs about a year or so, like a top-up, like a degree certificate that you would now use to, apply for your master's program in the school. While there are some schools that do accept HND for their direct masters. Now, I've been applying for those schools, and those schools are able to review what they call conditional offer. It depends on the documents you also submit to the school. If you're able to tender all required documents as stated earlier on, like your SOP, statement of purpose, your international passport, your other documents, you might be fortunate, you might get an unconditional offer direct, or you might be given a conditional offer whereby they would ask you to fulfill those conditions for you to have unconditional offer. And I also want you to know that there are also some schools, like I said earlier on while we were starting this video, that they don't require POF for you to get CAS, that is confirmation of acceptance of study. So without that confirmation of acceptance of study, that's also known as CAS, you won't be able to apply for your visa. There are even some schools too whereby when you want to apply for their program, they also tell you to provide your CV to state that you've been working, and then provide academic reference, like I stated earlier on, and if possible, your work reference alongside with your SOP. So if all those things has been done, and then the school gives you an unconditional offer, you would now use the unconditional offer to now apply for your CAS, and it is with that CAS that you will now use to apply for your visa. But for you to apply for your visa now, you need to have your POF intact. What is POF? POF means proof of fund. And if you are coming to the UK to study for your course as an international student, you need to have your POF in your account for the minimum of 28 days. So if you are schooling outside London, your POF for the applicant is 9,207. Then if you are coming with your dependent, for each dependent is 6,120 pounds. So now, if for instance your school fees is about 15,000 pounds, and then you are asked to make an initial deposit of 5,000 pounds, after when you take away that 5,000 pounds from the 15,000 pounds tuition fee, it is going to be remaining 10,000 pounds for you to balance the school fees. Now, how do you calculate your POF? You calculate your 9,207, which is called the living expense, with the remaining balance of your school fees, which is 10,000 pounds. So 10,000 pounds plus 9,207 will now total it to 19,207. So this is the amount that you need to have in your account as proof of fund for you to be able to apply for your visa. So if you are coming with other dependent members like your wife and your children, same thing is applicable to them. You have the balance of your school fees, your living expense for the applicant, and then living expense for your dependent. Also note that your dependent will also need to make sure that their international passport are also ready and available. And if you are coming with your children, you also need to prove you also need to provide a consent letter to consent that okay, you are the father or the legal parent or the legal guardian to those children. And for those that are married, you also need to provide your marriage certificate, and if possible, provide proof of relationship. What I mean proof of relationship, it could be your marriage certificate, your marriage pictures, it could be pictures when you guys were still courting or early days of your marriage and all of that. So those are the things you need to provide while you're applying for your visa, for your tier 4 visa. And I also want to also use this means to also tell everyone who are interested in applying for this tier 4 visa to make sure that they start on time, as there has been some delays in UKVI, issuing out visa. We also have 3 sessions in the year for those that want to consider studying in the UK. We have the January intake, few schools offer April, May intake, and then we have the September intake, which is the normal regular intake that we have here in the UK. So if you have all documents put in place, it will be very easy for you to apply for your tier 4 visa. Note, you need to have your international passport and you need to have and then lest I forget, a particular document you need to do, tuberculosis test. You need to also do your TB, and the TB must be valid within 6 months of when you want to use it. If, for instance, you are thinking of resuming your school in September, you are supposed to have done your TB like in March. So from March to September is like 6 months validity. So within that space of 6 months, it's going to be valid for you to use to apply for your visa and also to apply for your CAS. So having done all these things that I have mentioned earlier on, then having mentioned all these things that you've gotten all documents and you've done what you're supposed to do as the applicant, and then your dependent are able to do what they're supposed to do, then you can now go ahead and apply for your visa. And you can be certain that you get your visa out as long as you are not using a falsified documents, because there have been a couple of reports that a lot of people uses fake POF to show as their proof of funds. So you need to avoid using a fake POF just because you are looking for visa. Just try as much as you can to use a legit document, like a legal document, to avoid issues and non-straightforward mails and the likes. So with this, I think I'm going to wrap up my video on this tier 4 visa route. Please, if you have any question you want to ask, you can drop into my comments and I would answer. Please feel free to ask questions, feel free to reach me, and I'll be there to reply you your questions. And I want to also use this means to also tell you to also help to share my videos with your family and friends, to like and subscribe to these channels too, so that they themselves too will be equipped with the information that I'm going to be passing on to you people. Thank you very much and see you later. Ciao.